So it's a few days after Christmas and we're so tired of turkey and baked chicken and all that stuff. So I decided today to make pizza, and I want to show you guys how to make the sourdough crust, alright? Take a look at how beautiful they are though. These are so wonderful. I'm using one of the starters that I made a couple months ago. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Alright, so I want you guys to know I have two starters, okay? This is the one that I did when I made that loaf of bread that I showed you guys on the show. Take a look at this link right here, and it's going to lead you to how to make the starter and how to make bread from the starter. A few weeks later, I made this one. And I guess because it was different time, it was a different season, a different time of the year, this captured some really, really beautiful yeast. And this one reacts even better than this and tastes even better than this. But I still didn't throw this one out yet because I've been using it over and over again to make bread. And the reason I have two starters is because one of these starters will only give me one loaf. And a lot of the times people are kind of like saying, can I get a loaf? So I want to give away one, so most of the time I'll just use the two of them and make two loaves. So today what I'm doing, I'm using this one right here to make the pizza dough because this one reacts a whole lot better. And I'm going to do another video shortly where I'm going to use this one to make waffles, okay? So sourdough pizza crust today off of this one. Let's get started. 4 cups of all-purpose flour. This is about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of starter. It's not going to make a difference if you do the 1.5 cups or the 2, okay? So I already made the mother out of 1 cup of the sponge, plus adding my 1/2 cup of flour and stuff to it. It's in the fridge, so it's good. So that's the starter. We only want 1 teaspoon of salt and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And you can totally live without the olive oil if you don't want to, but I like it in it. To me, it makes for a better dough. And then now it's just a matter of mixing it up before we start adding this little cup of warm water here. And we may need the whole cup as well as we may not. Or maybe we might need more. Remember my kneading trick here, guys? The handle of a wooden spoon, okay? So now it's time to start adding the warm water a little bit at a time. And I want you guys to know that my starter stays in the fridge, and on the day that I'm going to use it, I take it out and I proof the sponge first for at least 3 hours before I make the mother and start using the rest of the starter to make stuff, okay? So that's what I did today. If you guys want to see how to do that, go watch the video that I have at the site that's called Sourdough Bread from Starter to Finish. So here I'm adding the water a little bit at a time. And I'm kneading now with my hand because sometimes it's just best to get your hands in there to see how sticky it is because you don't want it to get too sticky, all right? Now it's to the point where I've dumped it on the counter. My hands are still dirty with the flour. So I usually find it best to stop, wash my hands, dry it off completely, and then come back. And then I tend to have more fun kneading my dough that way. So this is a very sticky dough. I love the elasticity of the dough. And you know what? I love kneading, and I hope that you guys that watch the show, if there's one thing that I'd like for you to take away from it is to learn to love to knead, because when you know how to knead bread, you can really feed your family in times of famine, okay? So see, I'm having a wonderful time here. I'm not putting any flour on the counter because I don't think I need it. I'm putting it back in the bowl. I've rubbed some olive oil in the bowl already, and I'm setting it in here. I'm putting the olive oil because the dough is sticky. Look at my beautiful towel. Look at all that Belize stuff on it. Now it's time to make the sauce while the dough rises. And this is what we're using. And you can freeze right here and get the recipe right here. This is from not my mom's cookbook, from Jada's cookbook. This is Jada's pizza sauce. And this is what we're going to put for the topping. Pineapple tidbits and all these different cheeses and pepperoni, and you can basically put what you like, okay? I know some people put anchovies and vegetables and stuff. Now it's 1 hour later. You can let it go for 2 hours if you want to, but I let it go for 1 hour. It's time to re-knead the dough, and again, I'm having fun. See, it's nice, it's stretchy, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of flour because now we're going to start working with the dough to make the pizzas. I'm going to cut it in 3, so you're going to get 3 large-sized pizzas out of this. Put a little bit of flour on the counter again, and we're going to start rolling with the rolling pin as flat as you want to go. All right, so I'm here trying to make it thin for Joe because he hates a thick crust pizza, right? All right, so here we go. I'm just stretching it over the pan, and I don't know how to toss the dough in the air, so I'm cutting off the excess because I made it a little bit too big. Alright, so we could have left the excess on and then put some cheese inside and folded it, but I didn't want to do all that right now, so we just kind of folded it neatly around the edge, and now we're going to dress the top. Now for this first one, I'm going to put very little sauce because Joe doesn't like a lot of sauce on his pizza. The other two are going to be loaded down with sauce though. Now here I'm adding the sharp cheddar cheese and then the stuff from the triple pack, which is all cheddar, different blends of cheddar, and the mozzarella. Of course, I've told you guys you can put whatever cheese you want. I'm going to load it down with pepperoni because Joe loves pepperoni. And I'm putting the pineapple tidbits, and we found out that the tidbits are easier to use than the chunks. Put in the first one. Now here are the other two that I dressed it the way I wanted, and I usually bake it on 375, then bump it up to 400. Look how gorgeous they are, piping hot from the oven. And this video is about the crust, the sourdough crust, so take a closer look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to dive in. Don't forget to check out my website to purchase copies of any of the books. Go to bearpantryshow.com and click on the store tab. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching the show. If you like this video, hit like below for me. Please share with your friends and family. And until I see you guys again, take care. Don't forget to subscribe and also check out my other two channels, the product review channel, Bear Pantry Talk, and come have some fun with my family and me over at the vlog channel, Babs Bear Talk.